Hello everyone, welcome to this our next sneak peek at FME 22, and today we are looking at the unfolded format reader and writer. I have with me my colleagues Heather and Claire, and hopefully you will know them from before because they came on and did the presentation on the CCAN format.
Yeah, glad to be here again. Thanks for inviting us. It's
Oh, you're
always fun
welcome.
to
Yeah.
come and talk to people.
Excellent. I love having folks on as well. So developers and managers and everybody is welcome. So yeah, and I think you mentioned this format last time you were online with us, and you said it was upcoming, and yeah, here it is. So I don't really know much about this at all, to be honest. So what can you tell me about this format and what it's all about?
Yeah, so the Unfolded Reader Writer really came to us from Unfolded themselves. So we heard also that they've been acquired by Foursquare. And so Foursquare in the last few years has positioned themselves to be a location-focused advertising and marketing platform to serve that market. And Unfolded has helped in that goal of theirs by being kind of a back end as a service for Foursquare. And they were built on top of some Kepler.gl and Deck.gl libraries. And actually by it's Unfolded is ex-Uber engineers as well. So they
Oh,
had built the technology originally for Uber, but there was open libraries and they were able to pivot and then also form Unfolded. So what we did here was that we used the tools that Unfolded data has out there, um, especially the Unfolded Studio, to be able to connect a reader writer and
hmm
enhance their services by being able to bring in data, bring out data, transform it, do all the things that FME does best.
absolutely. That sounds great. And I noticed it's on the hub, so that's another bonus, as far as I'm concerned, anyway, because that just makes it easier for us to do updates, I guess. But
Yeah, that's an advantage for us. We're able to push things out a little bit earlier as well, which is always fun. Um, I think
fantastic.
Heather, you were gonna mention something on there too.
Oh no,
Oh,
that's
sorry.
Fair enough.
yeah, that's great.
But yeah,
Well,
yeah, it's available on the hub, so definitely try it out and let us know what you think. And
yeah,
we always love to hear about, further needs that you might have out of it, anything that we can do to improve that experience too.
fantastic. Okay, so Heather, I think you're doing a demo for us. Don't say no again, please, because
Yeah, well, yeah, thanks Claire for the intro to Unfolded itself. So I'm going to be talking about a new format that we're releasing, which is the Unfolded Data Reader Writer. So this deals specifically with reading and writing data into the datasets in an Unfolded user's account. Now, Unfolded itself in Unfolded Studio, you can upload files like CSVs and GeoJSONs and even shape files. But let's say that we have something in a slightly different format and I want to upload it to Unfolded. So that's where FME and the Unfolded Data Reader Writer come in. So I'm just going to quickly generate a workspace. So let's say the data I want to upload is a GeoPackage file stored locally on my computer. So I'm just going to select this file. And then all I have to do is specify the Unfolded Writer. Now to use this format, all I need to do is set up a web connection with a refresh token, which I can get from my account on the website. So let's set this up. So each feature type in the Unfolded Reader or Writer is going to correspond to its own data set in Unfolded. So let's select 2 right here. Now let's take a quick peek at my data. So I can see that there are attributes, and there's also FME feature geometry.
okay.
Now in Unfolded, this geometry information needs to be written to its own column. So what I can do in the writer is specify my geometry column name. So I can leave it default and it'll just write to an attribute named geometry. Or I can specify my own custom thing. So let's call this zone geom. And with my writer, I can either choose to create an entirely new data set or replace the contents of an existing data set. So let's create a new data set, and let's run my translation.
So while that's running, can I ask a quick question?
Sure.
So does Unfolded support any type of geometry, or are there limits on what it can?
I think the preference is going to be for vector geometry, so just
Okay.
2D geometry itself. I think you can upload
Pretty much any
3D
vector.
geometry onto,
Okay.
but
So I'm just thinking like arcs and circles and things like that. I'm guessing it's the basic vector.
yeah, more on
Okay.
the polygon side.
Okay.
So basically anything that you would find in a typical GeoJSON geometry files, so things like lines, things like polygons,
Okay.
those would be supported.
Cool.
Yeah.
I just got to grab at the cat who's pulling cables out of my computer in the background.
Yeah, so I can see in my account that those two data sets I chose have already been uploaded.
Mm-hmm.
So let's see if I can view this in a map. So I'm going to select those two data sets. And so I can see that the data I've uploaded. Now if I choose to click in to see what I've actually uploaded, I can see, for example, that my feature geometry has been written to a column called zone geom. So let's take a look at the reader. So I'm just going to read back in that data set I've just uploaded.
Mm-hmm.
Uploaded. I can choose to select any number of data sets in my account. I'm just going to choose the one I just chose. And let's click here. So you'll notice that right here, the geometry call name is geometry. And that's saying that if I have a column in my data set called geometry, I want to create FME geometry like that.
Okay.
Now, of course, I have no such column, so there's no geometry.
Right.
But
Yes.
if I do this,
Fantastic.
then I have my geometry.
There we go.
Yeah, and this automatically handles coordinate conversion, so you don't have to worry about that when you're uploading to Unfolded or from Unfolded.
Okay. Does it handle any coordinate system, or is it lat long only? Do you know?
It should be any coordinate system supported by FME, so you can just specify that here.
Okay. Oh, that's cool. I mean, sometimes you have to ask about some formats because every format seems to be different in some way. I think once you've used a few, so yeah, it's good to know that there's not really that many limitations on it. I like it. Cool. And was there anything else to demo? I guess that's pretty much it, really.
That's pretty much it. It's a pretty straightforward format. Just in, out, you can specify where you want your geometry to be.
Fantastic. So
something that on the Unfolded side, something that they found interesting too was that because you can bring it into FME, it also means that you can automate some processes, some data with server, and so that was a big pull as well for FME, providing some of the transformations here.
Yeah. Well, I was going to ask, why was there any particular reason we picked on this format to support? Was it one that users were asking for?
We'd had some ask for it, but it was also mostly seeing the opportunity with Unfolded themselves.
Okay.
So they have, because they're a part of Foursquare, and Foursquare is a fairly big player as well. We saw it as mutually beneficial too, and maybe an opportunity for FME users who also might not know Foursquare as well to also have access to it, and vice versa as well.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I mean, as an FME user, I've never really looked at that before, but it looked a fantastic product on there. So, yeah, I might give it a try.
They've got tools for developers and analysts and marketers. They're quite big on the digital advertising, and also using data that's coming from cell phones and to kind of better do some
Oh,
user
wow.
segmentation.
Huh.
So for any advertising or marketing, it's definitely also worth looking into.
Fantastic. So yeah, I mean, I was just wondering if the reader or the writer is going to be more popular, but that could be a toss up there. Yeah, I can see people
Yeah,
moving data
on
really.
most of our plugins, it ends up being uh, the readers that are more popular.
Oh, really?
Um,
Okay.
yeah,
Huh. I didn't realize that. I've always wondered, but now I
only
know.
by a small margin usually.
Yeah, yeah. I can imagine. I can imagine
And then there are
it's
a few exceptions too, but
yeah. I can imagine writing is pretty important as well. So yeah, good. Well, I'm glad we support that. Looks good. Any other formats coming up in the future? You can perhaps sneak sort of give us
uh,
a hint
yeah,
about.
I think it's safe to say there's Airtable coming up as well,
Mm-hmm.
which Heather happens
Right.
to be working on too. So I'm sure we'll be
Oh,
back in communication about
fantastic.
that sometime soon.
Excellent. I look forward to seeing that one as well. I should mention there is we do have a survey up online right now about, well, I don't want to say what format it is, but we've just talked about it. So, yeah, that it was the Airtable format. And I'm trying to remember what the URL is. I think it is surveymonkey.com/r/FME workflow tools. I've just chatted it out. So if anyone wants to go and click on that survey and let us know what they know about Airtable, if they've used it before, if they'd like to have a reader writer, that would be really
Yeah,
useful.
we're getting some good feedback in, and if anyone's out there and want to tell us more about it too, feel free to leave us your email. We love to ask questions about your answers if you're interested too.
Hmm.
Um, but yeah, that's a bit more research that we're doing on something upcoming. So
Okay,
hoping to do more of those too. Um, yeah, always looking
fantastic.
for insights on how you want to use things.
Yeah, like it. Well, I think we're probably done for the day, and that's probably the quickest sneak peek we've had so far, which is not a bad thing. Some folk have been sitting talking for about 45 minutes, and so yeah, that's fantastic. Well, thanks for dropping by and demoing this for us and talking about it. That's
Yeah,
really
thanks as
useful.
well.
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah, see you around next time.
Yeah, anytime, anytime you've got anything new, we're happy to see what you've been working on. So
You'll have to give a cameo to your cat next time.
yes, well, you probably heard a scrabbling noise. It was climbing up the bookshelf and sleeps on the top of there a lot of the time. So yeah.
Awesome. Thanks so much.
Okay, well, thanks. We'll say thanks to everyone who's watching, and we'll turn off everything for them. Okay, thanks, folks.